A very welcome to this video on Brainet, and today we are going to discover what exactly Google's anti-gravity is. We are going to install it, and then we are going to have a complete walkthrough of all the interfaces and all the features that our anti-gravity has to provide to us. So this is how Google's anti-gravity's website looks like. Just to let each and everyone who does not know what exactly an IDE is. So in the previous video, I told you Google Antigravity is a software where you can write your own code using AI. So that software where you write your code is called an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. So for all the non-coders and who haven't coded in their entire life, you don't have to worry about this. It's just a software or an area where all the developers write their code, be it a mobile app or a website, then they test it a lot and then they deploy it finally when they're done. So it's just a medium of writing code. Okay, so if we scroll down, you can find few of the features being displayed in the intro itself. We are going to talk more about all these features later in this course. Now you can have a complete look at the website, but for now what we are going to do is we are going to look at two things. Firstly, how we can download it for our system. So we have a clear button to download Google Antigravity. If you have Mac, you can download from here, Windows and Linux. You can download for 64-bit. I have already downloaded and installed it in my system. It's very simple and very straightforward. Okay, then we are going to talk about the pricing. So Google Antigravity actually provides with 4 pricing plans. We don't have to buy any plan. We are going to work with obviously the individual plan. Although I have my developer plan because I'm working for my startup. So I do have that. But all of you who are watching this video, you all are going to work on the individual plan where you might encounter, weekly or daily quota limits. We are also going to talk about that later in this course. All right, so once you install Google Antigravity and when you'll open it, you'll find an interface like this. So for all the coders who are watching this video, you might be aware of VS Code, and this looks similar, or I would rather say exactly like VS Code. For those who don't know about VS Code, it's an IDE coding environment provided by Microsoft, and it looks exactly like VS Code. So when you come at this interface, you'll find 3 buttons of open folder, open agent manager, clone repository. You'll find a tab written agent over here. This is the agent manager tab, basically where you have a conversation with your different agents for each and every project. Okay, so open folder opens any of your code files or any of your repositories that you already have in your system and you want it to work with Antigravity. Agent manager is something which is new and very interesting that we are going to discuss. Here at agent manager, you'll find something called as conversations. So conversation is each and every time you have a chat with an agent regarding any kind of project or any different project, it will be counted under conversations, and you can have n number of conversations at the same time. All right, so I have prepared an infographic for all of you guys to better understand how you can master Google Antigravity, because if you understand this infographic, literally it's that easy to operate and use Antigravity. It's all in this infographic right here. So let's start with the 3 surfaces: the agent manager, the editor, and the browser test. I already told you about the agent manager. Here it is. We'll deep dive into what are the components of agent manager. What you can have for the editor is it's where you write all of your code. So for example, this is one of my projects open. This is basically the editor. This is the agent manager that I was talking about, and there is a concept called browser test. So when you'll be at this toolbar, you'll find a small icon of open browser which says preview. When you'll click that, you'll have your own Chromium browser where it will say where it says welcome to Antigravity browser control. What this does is Antigravity actually has its own Chromium version or its own Google Chrome, meaning that let's say you are developing a website in Google's Antigravity. If you want to test it out, or if you want to, check how it looks, and when it is being searched on, when it is being seen on Google Chrome or any other browser, you can do that literally in Google Antigravity itself. So it's a very beneficial feature for all the developers, because you have to constantly test and run different tests all into localhost, and you have to check what all changes have to be made. So this browser is completely under control of Google Antigravity, meaning it performs all its tests, it records it, and it presents the recording and the screenshots right into the report, which we'll discuss later in this course itself. Okay, so this was about the browser test. Now there are 3 agent modes in Google Antigravity. The first one is off, the second one is auto, and the third one is turbo, which you are able to see on your screens right now. Any command that is required to be executed for any kind of project, you are being provided with 3 options to choose from. Off means that Antigravity will ask each and every time before it executes any command for any project. Okay, so you'll have to like click on allow every time. The auto mode means that the model will decide when to ask to the user for the permission, and if it doesn't feel like asking, it will automatically execute the commands. And the turbo means all the commands will get executed without you being in the loop. Okay, so this is the agent mode. The artifacts, so this is a very interesting thing that Google Antigravity has provided for each and every developer who's using its interface. So let's say I am in this project, I am writing some code using Antigravity. Now I asked it to explain the code base. Like I'm totally new to this code base and I want to know what exactly is going on into this code base. So I just simply wrote a prompt. Let me zoom it up. Go through the code base and provide me with the information about code and what purpose it does it serve. So the very first artifact that we are talking about is the task list. Whenever you provide a prompt to Antigravity, it will create a task list which it will execute step by step in order to achieve the desired result. So based on your prompt, it is going to decide few tasks, and it will check each one by one whenever it achieves that. So this is the very first artifact. It creates task list whenever it is doing some kind of task. Okay, now when it completed all the tasks, it has provided me with a code base overview. Now what is this? This is what you call a walkthrough report. So I actually prompted it to provide me the walkthrough report. Walkthrough report also contains the screenshots of your application. So let's say if it's a web application that you're building, it will also include all the screenshots into this. Right now it's just the purpose or all about what is this code and what is this code doing, what is the architecture, etc. things, what are the data flow, explaining everything about what this code is doing right now. So this is something what you call walkthrough report. Or we'll have a look at a more better walkthrough report when we are going to build some kind of projects. Okay, now implementation plan, it is something that it creates after it creates a task list, and it religiously follows that to achieve the destination. We will see that when we are going to build a complete project using Antigravity. Okay, now the parallel work. So this parallel work thing is something which I'll be able to explain better in further videos, but just to give you an example, let's say you opened agent manager and you created like 2 or 3 conversations, and you instructed Antigravity to work on all those 2 or 3 conversations at the same time. So this is what you call parallel work. Antigravity provides you with the feature of working parallelly on all different projects or for working under different areas for a single project. So when we'll move ahead in this course, what we are going to do is we are going to build a full stack application where we'll ask one conversation to build the front end part, one conversation to work for the super base thing, and the other conversation to design logo. So in a nutshell, you don't have to leave Antigravity for any other purpose. All can be done in this platform itself. Okay, so browser integration, I already told you, you'll be able to visualize it and understand it better when we are going through a project. Editor features, that's something that will discuss later. Okay, so talking about the hero thing, the hero window, the agent editor or the agent manager. Okay, now you have the conversations. I told you, each and every time you ping the agent for any kind of project, a conversation has been started, and that's what you call it. Workspaces, a collection of all the conversations, is what you call workspaces or different workspaces. Okay, when you want to, let's say I want to go into the editor side, then I want to go into the code section of this project. All I need to do is to click open editor, and I will be able to access the code section, the code area of the project. All right, so this was the walkthrough of Google Antigravity's interface, and now we have learned what artifacts are, how actually Google Antigravity looks like, and how we are going to build our projects into it. In the next video, we are going to actually, create an interface using Google's Nano Banana. We are going to create a games interface using it, and then we are going to add some game logic, and we'll be building a real world game using Google's Antigravity. So stay tuned.